Welcome back to Vernon Downs in Syracuse, New York on a very cold day. Yamaha used this weekend's opportunity to introduce and debut their new line of Viper sleds, and they are hot. Why are they hot? Well, they've been modeled mostly after the Pro Open racing sled. Very, very cool. Now it's time for Inside Cross with Greg Kramer. Inside Cross is brought to you by Ride FX. Ride hard. We can take it.
As WSA Snowcross continues to get more and more popular and the tracks get more and more challenging, an area of technical development that is incredibly crucial is shock technology. Well, Ride FX has been raising the bar, setting the standard on that for a few years now, and we're inside, well, some people have mobile race shops. We're inside what is surely more like a mobile laboratory. This facility is amazing. I'm with Barry Eckhoff of Ride FX. And Barry, tell us a little bit about what happens inside this facility on the road.
Greg, good morning. What we've got here is a 53-foot mobile lab, and it's effectively a mobile ride development lab. We can take this and bring it right on site to all the races and allow our technicians and our engineers to do shock work with all the snowcross racers that we sponsor. In addition, we actually take it on site and work with our snowmobile customers and our ATV customers and actually be able to develop suspension work with them right on site. And from a snowcross perspective, it allows our guys to be able to work directly with all our pro riders that we sponsor and actually be able to make very quick changes for them.
Well, folks, it's that kind of commitment, not just to R&D, but servicing the customer on the road, that allows Ride FX to live up to their slogan, Ride Hard. We can take it.
And when we return, we're going to introduce you to Steve Shearing of Amsoil. That's coming up next.
Did you change the jets in here, Jimmy? We'll bring this one in and Boinger can start working on that one. I like that energy. Gabe, where's the board at? Oh, Deersfield too. Pretty good. Okay, go smoke in there, cowboy. Clean sled, clean mind. I bet you've never seen a team owner with hands this dirty before, have you? It takes somebody with drive to put a team together. Hey, Jimmy, I probably only need the front one off of that one. Take that back clutch off. For us, being a non-factory team, we work twice as hard. 10-4. Hey, boy, you got your radio on yet? He was number 4. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I have 10 for. If I can bend it a little bit now. Is that better?
Quite a guy. He means a lot to the series. Let's take you back to qualifying in Pro Open. This is round 3, heat 3.
On board with Noel Kohansky, who was looking pretty good in this one. But as they head into the top of that hockey stick, this is the last turn onto the front straight. Watch what happens. He got nudged, ran way wide, carried in too much speed. off he went. Now he drops way back, but here's the big story. Like in the stock class, there is Ibsen being chased hard by Carl Allard. Allard pressuring. Ibsen felt it, got into those hay bales, or the tough boxes, flipped over. He was underneath the large sled, but because of the soft snow, and Allard's thinking very quickly, he lifted the sled up. Ibsen crawled out, Allard took off, but that allowed Dennis Ekstrom to win it.
Then in round 3, heat 4, here was the action.
All Blair Morgan, and he got the whole shot, but the big story here, listen to this. Did you hear that little wobble? That's a rare crash by Morgan, but what happened, he blew a belt, and it locked the clutch up, and that's like grabbing the brake when you're midair. Remember Gula's crash at Canterbury? Watch the track here. Looks good. There, you see him go forward, and there's the track. It's locking up. That weight goes forward. He just augured in huge, only he came off to the side a little bit instead of riding the bars like Gula did. Now watch here. We take a look afterwards. They lift it up. Look when he reaches in and pulls out. There it is. And that locked that clutch up, and that just parked that baby right now.
So now, Blair Morgan, Tucker Hibbert, and the rest wait for the Pro Open LCQ. It's next. Welcome back to ESPN Speed World. Don't forget our coverage of the Grand Prix de Valcourt from Canada. Just about 80 miles east of Montreal. That'll come up on Thursday, March 29th. Pro Open, last chance qualifier. 4 will make it. Very cold day. Winds are up. To run in this LCQ is going to take a lot of extra energy. You're on board, Todd Wolff.
That's TJ Gula's teammate who just went by him on the outside in front of everybody is Noel Kohansky. Look at that, Ibsen up along the outside. Oh, they're packing it up early.
Ibsen right just ahead of Todd Wolff. Over to the left. Kind of cool. You've got an onboard camera right up there in the middle of the fight. Todd Wolff currently running in fourth behind Kohansky, Ibsen, and T.J. Gula.
He was alongside Gula for a moment there, and then suddenly Gula went back around. Remember, the top 4 advanced, so this battle, Gula, Wolff, and Allard right behind. This is a stellar scrap, and it's very important right now.
And our camera is sitting right there in the transfer spot. So let's just ride with him. Oh, that is very cool. Kohansky, Ibsen, T.J. Gula.
Then Wolff, and then that's Carl Allard. And Allard knows that he's in 5th, and that's not enough. He's got to pick up another spot. Go back on board now.
Remember Allard, he had that victory in the LCQ for Pro Stock. Here he is in the LCQ for Pro Open. Todd Wolff in the transfer spot. You're back on board with him.
Oh, he just got roosted. Let's go back on board. See if we can ride with him for a bit again.
Jason T.J. Gula. Oh! That's what it looks like when it's wrong.
He got it wrong. You saw that sled rotate. And that's what... Oh, there's a hit! That was Allard. Got down inside him, and they bumped.
And Allard takes over the transfer point. A lap of trouble. You see him turn around and take a look back.
There went Nakazawa. He knows that he's not back up to speed. That's why that head's pivoting like that, watching for who's coming up. So Allard now, Paul, has gone to that transfer spot, and Reimer got by as well.
Earl Reimer on 100 got by. We're about 2.5 laps from the finish in this Pro Open LCQ. Right now, Kohansky, Ibsen, T.J. Gula, and Allard would transfer into the final.
Wolf was chasing. You saw number 2. That's Nathan Titus struggling a little bit in this one as well. That leg of Nathan's still not healthy, and it's definitely affecting his ability to ride.
Noel Kohansky is the leader on his Polaris. I've spent a lot of good time with Kohansky at the Winter X Games. What a great guy. 2 laps to go.
He really is, and he's been one of the instrumental people in the resurgence of the Polaris team. He and the engineers, along with some of the other racers, spent a lot of time together working on changes, working on fixes, just sort of brainstorming to come up with some of the improvements that have brought the Team Red equipped back into the front lines.
Allard working hard on TJ Gula. Allard in the transfer spots. Earl Reimer on 100 is looking for that 4th place.
Well, he's been looking aggressively enough that he got up pretty close to Allard, and like these mod sleds, 800cc a modified engine, you hear them. They got the pipes, unlike the stock sleds. You can sneak up on somebody. Not in this class. Reimer got close, and Allard has responded.
Working on the final lap. Gula trying to hold off Allard. Here comes Reimer down on the inside. Gula, Allard, Reimer.
Yeah. Allard got into the back of Gula. And we'll see if Reimer is able to take advantage of it.
Kohansky, here comes Vincent right now.
Still Allard.
Gula still trying to hold off Allard. Reimer fell back. There is Kohansky taking the win. And the rest come through, and it is Allard in the transfer spot. Earl Reimer comes home in 5th place. And so there they are. Kohansky, Ibsen, TJ Gula, and Carl Allard will transfer to the Pro Open Final. And what about TJ Gula on 44? He is very definitely ready. We'll be back with the Pro Open Final right after this. Cold weather, high winds, but the crowd is pumped at Syracuse. It is Pro Open, ready to go to the line.
There's a good look at Blair Morgan, and I'll tell you what, this guy is revered here in Syracuse. This crowd extremely knowledgeable on their racing, and they know a superstar when they see one.
They cheer on Blair Morgan. TJ Gula, what an interesting story he has been throughout this season. We chronicled part of it. Now let's go down to Jerry Bernardo to talk about it.
The LCQ was just tough because there was just so many fast guys, and it's hard to see out there when you get behind with the snow dust and stuff. So I'm just going to go into this one and get the best start I can from the back row and try to pick them off one by one, just wait for my opportunities.
And then there's Blair Morgan and Tucker Hibbert. Now this thing has become a fairly serious rivalry. And what do the 2 guys think about that conflict?
A lot of people want to make a rivalry between me and Blair. There's not really anything there, you know. We're on the same team, so we get along real well. I've known him since he first came into the sport, so there's no hard feelings there.
It's exciting for the fans if we didn't get along and we're fighting, kind of like how me and Chris Vincent were before. And the things we do on the track, we don't take it personally like Chris does. I can come up, bump him a little bit, and that's just how we like to race, and other people will take it personally.
There's Tucker Hibbert, gold medalist at X Games in 2000. Blair Morgan, of course, won the most recent X Games. And also on the line, Chris Vincent, the 99 X Games gold medalist. The line is ready. We're ready for the final in Pro Open. There's the front row. And Kohansky, Ibsen, Gula, and Allard come out of the LCQ. We're ready to go. Pro Open Syracuse.
Looked like Hibbert got a fairly good start. There's Vincent. That's Hibbert next to him. And down inside is Morgan.
Oh, Morgan just rocketed through down the inside, takes the lead.
That was one of Morgan's great starts, Paul, and it came from the fact he did not get off the line very well. He checked up, went down the inside, and went from about 5th to the lead in that short chute. Unbelievable start.
Oh, what a run for Blair Morgan. I mean, I don't think he ever lifted even as he passed through the corner. 7C, there is Morgan. Hibbert, Trevor John in 3rd place. Then Chris Vincent and Kurt Crapo.
You're absolutely right. It was an unbelievable launch by Morgan, and I think it surprised everybody that he shot down the inside. you'll notice in that top 5, TJ Gula's not there. He got way buried deep in that pack, and he's struggling right now.
2 Arctic Cats out in front. Then Trevor John on his Polaris and Chris Vincent on the Ski-Doo. 7C is Blair Morgan. He's riding like there's no tomorrow. Tucker Hibbert trying to catch him.
And we've said this before, Paul, when these two guys are at the front early, David Brown.
Brown's in trouble, sled off the side. Number 5 is out of this final. Let's see what happened, Greg.
You just saw where we circled Brown. He caught one of those whoops, and it sent the sled upward. And he went over the bars, got a good look at his headlight. You don't want to be doing that. The concern for Brown, of course, is his ankle. It looked like he offloaded, and he didn't do anything to that ankle. So he may be sore elsewhere, but that ankle looks all right.
The leader, Blair Morgan, comes fast, as does 68. Tucker Hibbert in second place. The kid is now working on Morgan.
He's closed out. Look at Morgan. Did you see that? He went up in the air, rotated the sled in the air, got it almost perpendicular to the track so we could land on the downside in this slope of that berm and ramp into the corner. These two guys, their control of these sleds is otherworldly. It's unreal.
Well, they call Morgan Superman, and that's why. But don't count out Tucker Hibbert. He continues his pursuit. Almost dead center in the tracks, left behind by Morgan.
Well, he knows Morgan's running some fast lines, but one thing Tucker also is very astute on is you can follow him till you catch him, but you've got to have something where you can work a different line. Right now, I think he's just trying to stay close to Morgan, let Morgan hear him, and hope that maybe Blair might make a mistake. That's rare. I don't know if it's ever happened that he's felt pressure and come off. But Hibbert's working him over huge right now.
About 5.5 to go. Blair Morgan still in front. He sprays snow right in the face of the second place competitor, the 68 of Tucker Hibbert. Morgan over the jumps. Hibbert right there in his tracks. They've separated themselves pretty handily from the rest of the battle. Guys like Trevor John and Chris Vincent, there they are as they battle it out for third.
And battle it out's right. Those two have been after each other hammer and tong for the last couple of laps. Very close indeed. Trevor a little stronger in that section of track, but then Vincent closes it right back up. What I was going to say earlier about these two up front, Morgan and Hibbert, when they're at the front early, they almost bumped right there. They tend to push each other to even higher levels than they've ridden before, and levels that the rest of the field just struggle to imagine, let alone get to at this stage. It's unbelievable to watch these two guys race.
They've certainly done that here, separated well. First and second from third place, Trevor John. There is John. There is Chris Vincent. Battles at the lead. Battles in third and fourth. We'll be back. ESPN's coverage of the WSA from Syracuse, New York is brought to you today by Bud Light. For the smooth taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Skidoo, home of the Skidoo X Team. Vernon Downs in Syracuse, the Pro Open final. Nothing's changed since we've left you. Blair Morgan leads it. Tucker Hibbert is doing everything he can to do to put him into that lead with 3 laps to go now. At the same time, Chris Vincent is trying to work Trevor John out of third place.
And the leaders now getting into some traffic. Both of them getting by Kohansky cleanly there. Kohansky struggling just a little bit. So no gain, no foul for either of these two. And the battle just continues. And now you can see Tucker's starting to move off of the line just a little bit. He knows he can ride fast enough to stay with Blair, but he's got to find something quicker if he's going to get around Blair. And that's what he's trying to discover right now.
Yeah, for Hibbert, it's one thing to be able to chase him and stay right with him. Another thing entirely to get around him. That's the line he now searches for because he knows that they are in the final moments of the race. He comes up on the side of the bank and comes down low. It doesn't work for him. Blair Morgan still in the lead. In fact, it lost a little bit for Hibbert.
He had an idea. He tried it. You're right. It wasn't the right one, but you've got to explore. He saw what Morgan was doing. He thought it was a different line. Did it again there.
He makes another shot at it, digs heavily into the snow, slows him down. But now he's back in contact.
And
led off to the right. Hibbert gets around him.
He got around him, and that's a good thing. I thought for a minute he might get bogged down behind that sled, but they got by clean. There's Vincent in fourth. Still has not been able to find an answer to a very fast Trevor John.
Yeah, he's trying to catch the Polaris of Trevor John.
and he's not having a lot of luck with it. He keeps the pressure on here. Now some more traffic. That's Ibsen. Hibbert's trying to get around. He locked up and bumped him. Hibbert was able to get around him, but it cost him just that little bit, Paul.
And that where the checkered flag, and it's Morgan. Morgan takes the win in Pro Open. Tucker Hibbert, whatever possible chance he had, was eliminated in that last lap, but I don't think it was much of a chance. At the same time, here is that battle for third place. Did Vincent get him in the air?
I don't think so, but boy, he hit it as hard as he could, trying. Immense air by Vincent. And you know, Morgan wanted to do a trick when he won that one. They've been gusting winds up into the 50 to 60 mile an hour range here this weekend, and it's making it awful tough to do much. Here's a look at the start, and you can see Vincent and Krapel bumping on the outside. There's Hibbert, but no Morgan. He's back in the pack. But from his heat races, there he comes. This inside line was like glass. He gets there, tapes it, never lifts, knows it's smooth, catches that little bit of a bump there, ramps up to the top of the wall. That cuts away the line for everybody else. Morgan leads.
That was an amazing hole shot right down the inside. This, of course, a little later when Tucker Hibbert is fighting to keep his sled upright. And Blair Morgan wasn't as smooth a road as he would have liked as he gets nerfed from behind by Tucker, but that was mostly costly to Tucker. And then the finish itself as Blair Morgan on 7C kicks it up, comes over the line, and takes the win away from Tucker Hibbert. So there they are, Morgan and Hibbert once again at the top of the order. Trevor John comes home in third. Let's go down to Jerry Bernardo.
Blair, what do I always say?
Snowcross is fun. And
Winning is fun.
winning is even more fun.
Tucker was right on your butt the whole time. All I saw was snow in his face. Did you know he was so close?
Yeah, I knew he was close. One of the back jumps, I could see his shadow behind me. So I knew how far, I could gauge on how far he was behind me. But yeah, I had a little trouble turning out there. I think he was gaining on me in some of the corners, but some of this coming out of corners, I think I might have pulled him a bit. But yeah, just trying to throw snow in his face.
Yeah, what do you think of the track? It's that real loose sugar stuff.
Yeah, it's really cold here, and it's really loose. And I like it when it's more traction and he can hook up better and turn better.
And I'll speak for you. I like it when I win. Blair Morgan on this day right now.
You said it all, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, Jerry, let him do the talking in the future. Tucker Hibbert is still leading in the points by a single point over Blair Morgan. Let's go back to Bernardo.
Tucker, you win second right behind Blair. All I saw was snow just pelting you in the face off the big mod.
Yeah, it's an awesome race. It's so much fun. That was the most fun I've had in a long time. Yeah, you know, it's kind of tough in secondary. You just get roosted big time, but you know, just rode my hardest and had a lot of fun. Me and Blair were real close the whole time, and that's what I like. That's fun racing.
Well, for Tucker Hibbert, who in pro stock qualifying could not find the groove, he definitely found it in this one.
A great day, though, a cold day at Syracuse for the WSA. We thank you for being with us. I'm Paul Page for Greg Kramer and Jerry Bernardo. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more about Snowcross, log on to ESPN.com.